This man was so wicked, he purposely dumped a pile of trash right in front of his elderly neighbor's door and walked away. The old man, who could barely walk with his cane, came out and saw the disgusting mess. He could have been angry, but he wasn't. But what the younger man didn't know is this sweet grandpa believed in returning hatred with kindness. And he was about to teach him a lesson he would never forget. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. Instead of seeking revenge, he cleaned up all the trash himself. Then, he filled a bucket with fresh, beautiful apples and left it as a gift for the man who had wronged him. He showed him that even in the face of pure wickedness, you can choose kindness. This angry shopkeeper screamed at a pregnant woman for knocking over his fruit display. He thought she was just clumsy and careless, so he kicked her out. The poor woman tried to apologize, but he wouldn't listen. She walked away in tears, humiliated in front of everyone. But when the man went back inside and checked his security camera, his heart stopped. He realized he had made a terrible mistake. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. The footage showed that she didn't fall on purpose. She had thrown herself backward to save the little girl from a speeding bicycle that almost crushed her. He ran out to thank the hero who saved the child, but she was already gone. He learned that day to never judge without knowing the full story. This elderly man suddenly collapsed on the sidewalk, clutching his chest in pain. He was all alone, and it looked like he wasn't going to make it. But his dog didn't panic. Instead of running away, he sprinted to the nearest house and barked frantically until someone noticed something was wrong. He then ran back to his owner, waiting for help. When the ambulance arrived, the dog refused to be left behind. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. He ran in front of the ambulance, guiding them through traffic to get his owner to the hospital faster. Thanks to his bev, the man survived. It proves that dogs really are angels in disguise. This poor elderly woman noticed a stranger drop a wad of cash on the floor. Even though she had almost nothing herself, she was honest and immediately returned it. Moments later, the grandma was trying to buy some meat, but she didn't have enough money. She counted her last few coins sadly, realizing she would have to go hungry. But the woman she helped earlier was standing right there. She saw the grandma struggling and decided it was time to return the favor. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. She stepped in and bought the grandma a huge bag of fresh meat, paying for everything. She wanted to reward her for her beautiful heart. The grandma hugged her in tears, proving that when you do good, good always comes back to you. This elderly woman with a broken arm accidentally dropped her drink. It was an honest mistake, but the man next to her was cruel. He laughed at her struggle and refused to help. The poor grandma couldn't bend down to pick it up, but suddenly a pregnant woman waddled over. Even though it was hard for her to move, she got down on her hands and knees to help. She struggled to get back up, but she knew it was the right thing to do. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. She handed the drink back to the grandma with a warm smile. The rude man watched in silence, realizing he had just been shamed by someone twice as vulnerable as him. The grandma thanked her angel, proving that kindness has no physical limits. This brave soldier, who lost both his legs, was struggling to crawl up the long, painful stairs. He slipped and fell, feeling helpless and exhausted. A businessman in a suit ran right past him, talking on his phone and completely ignoring the hero on the ground. He didn't even look back. The soldier was about to give up, but suddenly another man stopped. He didn't just offer a hand, he did something incredible. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. Without hesitation, the stranger picked the soldier up and carried him all the way to the top on his back, bearing the weight like a true brother. He proved that while some people are too busy for kindness, real heroes lift each other up. This heavily pregnant woman was exhausted and in pain, desperate for a place to sit on the train. She looked around hoping for kindness, but everyone ignored her. Perfectly healthy people sat right in front of her, playing on their phones and looking away. They acted like she was invisible. But the man in the wheelchair saw her pain. Even though he had only one leg and struggled to stand, he refused to let her suffer. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. He pulled himself up and offered her his own wheelchair. The woman was shocked but grateful, sitting down while the disabled hero stood on his one good leg. He proved that the people with the hardest lives often have the biggest hearts. This homeless man was just trying to wrap his injured feet when a cruel police officer showed up. Instead of helping, the officer threw him to the ground and yelled at him to leave. The man was heartbroken, thinking no one in the world cared. But he had no idea a guardian angel was watching. And what she did next is one of the most beautiful things you will ever see. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days. Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever? Subscribe and share. Do everything. The young woman didn't hesitate. She helped the man up, brought him into a shoe store, and bought him a brand new pair of boots to protect his feet. This man was all alone in a crowded restaurant about to eat his meal with a heavy heart, but what no one knew is that this was his first time eating out since his wife passed away. He felt completely invisible as everyone around him laughed with their friends. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore? 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share. Do everything. Just as he was about to give up hope, a guardian angel was watching from across the room. She saw his pain, left her friends, and walked right over to his table. She didn't say a word, she simply sat down, shared his meal with him, and turned his loneliest day into one filled with laughter and kindness, restoring his faith in humanity. This dog walked onto the bus all by herself, looking confused and sad. The passengers were shocked, but instead of shooing her away, they welcomed her. Everyone tried to comfort her, petting her and making sure she felt safe. But the best part was the bus driver. He stopped the bus, got on his seat, and gently guided her to sit down. He treated her like a paying customer, showing incredible patience. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share. Do everything. The dog sat quietly by the window, enjoying the ride as if she knew exactly where she was going. Thanks to the kind driver and passengers, she wasn't just a stray, she was a friend. This broke student was starving, but he only had a few cents in his bank account. He sat at the table just smelling the food, wishing he could afford a meal. Suddenly, the waitress brought over a massive tray of food. He tried to refuse it, telling her he didn't order anything because he couldn't pay. But the waitress smiled and pointed to the woman at the next table. She had secretly paid for everything so he wouldn't go hungry. This little girl begged her mom to save the freezing puppy she found in the parking lot. But her mom refused, saying they had too many shopping bags to carry. She dragged her heartbroken daughter away, leaving the poor puppy all alone in the cold snow. It seemed like she didn't care at all. The puppy watched them drive away, shivering and waiting for a miracle that didn't seem to be coming. How many years do you want your mom alive? 10 days? Ignore. 100 years? Leave a like. 600 years? Comment a heart emoji. Forever, subscribe and share. Do everything. But on Christmas morning, the little girl opened a big box and started screaming with joy. Her mom had secretly gone bad to save him. The puppy popped out wearing a Santa suit, proving that her mom had the biggest heart of all.